Welcome back to AFT Dice Season 10. It is round 3, Tuesday, the 19th of August, 2025. Let's get stuck into this round. It is Port Adelaide versus Hawthorn. It's two bottom sides. It's 16th versus 17th here. Let's get stuck into the first quarter of this match to see if Port Adelaide or Hawthorn can get a win on the board. First quarter siren has gone, and Port Adelaide have kicked 3 goals 5 to Hawthorn 2-4 in that first quarter. Port Adelaide are up by 7 points, 23-16. Second quarter underway. The siren has gone for the second quarter. Half time, we've got Hawthorn. They've kicked 5 goals 4 to Port Adelaide 2-5. And at half time, we've got Hawthorn up by 10 points, 50-40. Let's get stuck into the third quarter for this match. It is Port Adelaide versus Hawthorn at Adelaide Oval. Third quarter has completed, and Hawthorn have kicked 4 goals 3 to Port Adelaide 2 goals 2. And at three-quarter time, we've got Hawthorn leading by 23 points. Let's go to the last quarter for this match. Who will win? And the final siren has gone, and Port Adelaide, what a stunning comeback. They've kicked 6 goals 4 to Hawthorn 1-3, and they've got over the line by 8 points. Port Adelaide final score 13-16-94 to Hawthorn 12-14-86. It was Hawthorn by 23 points at three-quarter time. Kicked 9 points in the last quarter to Port Adelaide 40 points, which got them over the line by 8 points. Port Adelaide, they have got their first win for the season, and Hawthorn have got their third loss for the season. Yes, that was a costly blow for Hawthorn, losing that game while they were 23 points up at three-quarter time. Let's go to the next game. It is Giants versus the Gold Coast Suns at the Giants Stadium. So we've got the Giants and Gold Coast. That's 10 versus 11th. First quarter's completed, and the Gold Coast Suns have kicked 6 goals 1 to the Giants 5 goals 5, and it is 2 points the difference at quarter time. Second quarter underway. Siren's gone for half time, and the GWS Giants have kicked 6 goals 4 to the Gold Coast 6-1. Very high scoring, and the Giants are up by 1 point, 75-74 in this game. Third quarter underway. Gold Coast, they're looking for their second win for the season. We've got Gold Coast, they've kicked 3 goals 3 to 1-1 in that third quarter. And the Gold Coast Suns are up by 13 points, 95-82. Last quarter underway in this match. And the final siren's gone, and the Gold Coast Suns have got a win by 7 points against the Giants. So the Giants have got 1 win, 2 losses. The Gold Coast Suns, two wins, 1 loss. And the final scores, Giants 16-13, 109 to the Gold Coast Suns, 18-8, 116. All right, let's get stuck into match of the round. Collingwood versus Melbourne at the MCG. It is second versus fifth. And we've got first quarter done. Melbourne have kicked 6 goals 1 to Collingwood 3-1. So Collingwood are down by 3 goals at the moment. Second quarter underway for this match. Whoever wins will be on top for a split second. Second quarter, both teams have kicked 2 goals 2, and it is still 3 goals the difference to Melbourne. 51 to 33. Third quarter underway for this match. An important match to get early wins for the season. Third quarter, it's very close. Second quarter and the third quarter were very we're level. So the third quarter, 2-4 apiece, and it is still 3 goals the difference. Very tight in the last 2 quarters. The last quarter could make a difference. And the final siren's gone, and Collingwood just couldn't get over the line against Melbourne. Melbourne have won by 2 points. Melbourne kicked 2 goals, 3 to Collingwood, 5-1 in that last quarter, but Collingwood just couldn't get the job done. They kicked 12-8, 80 to Melbourne, 12-10, 82. All right, let's. So Melbourne goes on top with 3 wins, no losses. They're the first team with 3 wins, no losses. Next game, it is Geelong versus North Melbourne. We've got Geelong kicking 6 goals, 5 to North Melbourne, 4-2. The Cats are 15 points up, 41 to 26. Second quarter underway. So we've got Geelong in 7th, North Melbourne in 2nd. Okay, the Cats have kicked 5 goals, 6 to North Melbourne, 1-6. And at half time, the Cats are leading by 39 points at GMHBA Stadium. Third quarter has just started. Who will come out of the blocks after half time? North Melbourne have kicked 1 goal, 1 to Geelong, 5-2. So North Melbourne have just left their left half time and just couldn't get any goals on the board. So Geelong are now 64 points up. Average margin, winning margin down at Geelong GMHBA Stadium is pretty much at 10 goals, I think. So the final siren's gone. So Geelong, they've kicked 4 goals, 2 to North Melbourne, 1-2. So North Melbourne in that second half have kicked 2 goals, 3 to Geelong, 9 goals, 4. In the end, Geelong have won by 82 points down at GMHBA Stadium. They couldn't get the win last week, Geelong, but at home, they've got another win. They've chalked up 2 wins at home now. So Geelong have final score 20-15, 135 to North Melbourne, 7-11, 53. So that puts Geelong in second spot with a healthy percentage of 156. So they're the highest. So they're the number 1 offense team in the competition. All right, let's go to the next game. It is Sydney versus Carlton at the SCG. Sydney down the bottom with Carlton 17th. 2 teams with no wins on the board at the moment. We've got Carlton, first quarter, they've kicked 4 goals, 3 to Sydney, 1-1. Second quarter underway in this game. Second quarter siren has gone, and Carlton have kicked 5 goals, 5 to Sydney, 2 goals, 4 in that second quarter. And at half time, we've got Sydney down by 39 points, 23 to 62. Second half is underway. Three-quarter time, Carlton have kicked 5 goals, 1 to Sydney, 1-2. And at three-quarter time, we've got Sydney down by 62 points, 31 to 93. Let's go to the last quarter to see if Carlton can put a big score on in the last quarter. Final siren's gone, and Carlton, they've kicked 6 goals, 2 to Sydney, 1-4. I thought it was going to go that way. Carlton have won by 90 points against Sydney. Sydney final score 5-11, 41 to Carlton, 20 goals, 11, 131. So that puts Carlton in 10th spot. They were 17th. So they've got their first win of the season with a massive win over Sydney, who are on the bottom of the ladder with a percentage of 46.74. That is a very low percentage there. All right, let's get stuck into the next game. It is Brisbane versus West Coast Eagles at the Gabba. Brisbane, they beat Carlton last week. West Coast, they are 16th. Brisbane is in 9th. So West Coast first quarter, they've come out, they've kicked 4 goals, 5 to Brisbane 1-2. So Brisbane are down by 21 points in the first quarter. Second quarter underway. And we've got Brisbane, they've kicked 2 goals, 4 to West Coast 1-2. And it is 13 points of difference at half time. Brisbane are 24 to West Coast 37. Let's go to the third quarter. See who will come out after half time to get a score on the board. And West Coast, they've kicked 3 goals, 3 to Brisbane 1-4. And it is 24 points the difference. Brisbane 34 to West Coast 58. Let's go the last quarter for this game. West Coast are looking for their first win on the board. Brisbane are looking for their second. But in the end, West Coast have won by 28 points over Brisbane. Brisbane have final score 9-12-66 to West Coast Eagles 13-16-94. So that puts West Coast on top of Brisbane. So West Coast are in 10th spot. Brisbane's in 12th. Now let's get stuck into the next game. It is Adelaide Crows versus Richmond. Adelaide are looking for their third win in a row. And it's very close in the first quarter. Adelaide, they've kicked 4 goals, 6 to Richmond 3-5. And it is 7 points the difference to Adelaide 30-23 in this game. Second quarter. And Richmond, they've kicked 6 goals, 5 to Adelaide, 2 goals, 5. And at half time, we've got Adelaide down by 17 points. Richmond, they've kicked, they're at 64 to Adelaide 47. So Richmond, they're looking for their second win of the season. Third quarter, siren has gone, and Adelaide have kicked 6 goals, 5 to Richmond 3-5. And at three-quarter time, we've got Adelaide Crows up by 1 point, 88 to 87. Let's go to the last win this game. Both teams, they want another win on the board. Siren's gone, and Adelaide Crows have won by 18 points. So that puts Adelaide with 3 wins on the board, with Richmond 1 win and 2 losses. Adelaide final score 17-21, 123 to Richmond 14-21, 105. What an exciting season so far. We've got 2 more games in round 3 to go. It's Fremantle versus Essendon. Both teams are outside the 8. We've got Essendon kicking 5 goals, 2 to Fremantle 1-2 in that first quarter. Second quarter is underway. And can Essendon continue on? No. Fremantle have kicked 2 goals, 4 to Essendon 1-1. And it is 15 points the difference to Essendon at half time, 39 to 24. Let's get stuck into the second half of this match. After this, we've got St Kilda versus Western Bulldogs at Marvel Stadium. Those 2 teams are inside the 8. Third quarter's completed, and we've got Fremantle. They've kicked 3 goals, 1 to Essendon 2-4. Essendon are still up by 12 points, 55 to 43. Let's go to the last quarter. Anticipation, who's going to win? And the final siren's gone, and Essendon have won by 20 points. Essendon final scores 10-11-71 to Fremantle 7-9-51. So that puts Essendon in 6th spot, Fremantle down to 14th. They had an awesome season last season, season 9. Fremantle finished on top, but never got to the grand final. They've had a few slip ups, and Essendon, they were in the finals last year, bombed out in the first week. Essendon are now 6 on the ladder. Let's go to the last game. It is St Kilda versus Western Bulldogs. So Bulldogs are looking for their 3rd straight win, and St Kilda are looking for their 2nd win of the season. St Kilda have kicked 4 goals 6 to Western Bulldogs 2 goals 2. Second quarter underway in this match. Melbourne on top with Adelaide second. Both teams are on 3 wins. Second quarter siren has gone, and St Kilda have kicked 2 goals 5 to Western Bulldogs 2 goals 2. And it is 19 points the difference to St Kilda, 47-28. Let's kick off the 3rd quarter of this match. 3rd quarter has completed, and we've got Western Bulldogs. They've kicked 3 goals 3 to St Kilda 2 goals 2, and St Kilda at 3-quarter time have got 12 points up, 61-49. Let's go the last quarter of round 3. Who will win? Final siren's gone, and St Kilda have won by 14 points over Western Bulldogs. Final score, St Kilda 11-18-84 to Western Bulldogs 10-10-70. All right. Well, that concludes round 3. We've got match of the round in round 4, Essendon versus Adelaide. So Western Bulldogs just couldn't get that 3rd win straight. So we've only got 2 teams on 3 wins, no losses for the season after 3 rounds. Melbourne and Adelaide. And then we've got Geelong with a smashing percentage of 156.95. Sydney down the bottom with 46.74 after a smashing against Carlton. St Kilda's in 4th spot. Rounding out the 8, we've got Collingwood, Western Bulldogs, Essendon, and North Melbourne. And then knocking on the 8 is the Gold Coast Suns with 100%. And the other winless team is Hawthorn. They are 2nd last. The number 1 offense team is Adelaide Crows. The number 1 defense team is Melbourne. So the 2 top sides, and we've got Adelaide and Melbourne with the biggest winning streak of 3. Essendon, they've got a winning streak. Next winning streak is Essendon with two wins. Well, that concludes round 3. We'll see you next time for round 4 on Thursday, the 21st of August, 2025.